Imagine sitting alone watching people around you laughing and chatting. You can't help but wonder why making friends feels so hard for you. It's a feeling many of us know all too well, isn't it? A wise Stoic philosopher once compared friendship to a diamond, rare and incredibly precious. He pointed out that true friendships are tough to find, and sadly, many we encounter are like shiny rocks that offer little real value. But what if this lack of friends is telling you something important about yourself? After facing a few disappointments, it's easy to feel like all friendships are just illusions, like mirages in the desert. Another friend chimed in, saying that true friends are treasures, the kind we cherish deeply and keep close to our hearts. So, what does it mean when you often feel alone in a world brimming with people who seem so connected? Does having fewer friends say something about who you are as a person? Today, let's dive into this sensitive topic together. We'll explore the challenges of making and maintaining friendships in our fast-paced world. And guess what? Just because you don't have a big circle of friends doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Sometimes it's about discovering that one true, valuable friend who makes all the difference. We'll discuss why some people struggle to connect and share practical Stoic wisdom on how to cultivate real, meaningful friendships. Think of it like an artist chiseling away at a block of stone to reveal a stunning statue. Each small effort contributes to building solid friendships that stand the test of time. Now, whether you identify as shy or introverted, remember, we're all wired for social interaction. But for some, it feels like a puzzle missing a few crucial pieces. Together, let's figure this out. We'll use Stoicism as our compass, guiding us through the nuances of friendship, helping us understand ourselves and the people we connect with. As we embark on this journey, I want you to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever felt that pang of loneliness in a crowded room? What if, instead of focusing on quantity, we shifted our perspective to cherish the quality of our relationships? So let's take a moment to think about it. Maybe you have one friend who truly gets you, who listens and supports you. Hold on to that. Or perhaps you've been yearning to reach out to someone but didn't know how. That's okay. Every step counts, and today is a great day to start. By the end of our exploration, I hope you'll feel inspired to embrace the journey of friendship, recognizing that it's not just about the number of friends you have, but the depth of the connections you create. Let's dig deep and uncover the beauty of meaningful friendships together. Ready? Let's dive in. But before we dive in, just take a quick moment to check if you're subscribed to the channel. We've got a series of upcoming videos packed with tips to help you improve your life. So, let's get started. Let's dive deeper into the idea of being shy or introverted. It's often viewed as a hurdle when it comes to making friends, right? But what if we flipped that perspective? Imagine viewing these traits as unique superpowers, allowing you to see the world through a special lens. It's like having a superpower that gives you a deeper understanding of emotions and situations. In the realm of Stoic wisdom, one of the core lessons is transforming what feels like a weakness into a formidable strength. Take a moment to reflect on the words of Marcus Aurelius, the wise Stoic emperor. He famously said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." Your introversion isn't a flaw, it's a quiet strength. Your journey might look different from others, but it's just as significant. Embracing who you are allows you to stop worrying about all those what-ifs and shoulds. This self-acceptance acts as a shield in social situations, granting you an unshakable confidence, even amidst the quiet. Now let's paint a picture. You find yourself at a lively party, feeling that familiar wave of shyness wash over you. Here's where Stoicism truly shines. It nudges you to focus on what you can control: your actions, your words, your kindness. You can't control how others perceive you or how conversations unfold. But when you choose to speak from your heart, rather than trying to impress, suddenly those conversations become lighter. They transform into a fun, relaxed way to connect, rather than a daunting challenge. And here's a comforting thought. Friendships aren't prizes you need to win. They're like delicate plants that require time and nurturing to grow. When you reach out to make friends, don't expect instant results. Embrace the wisdom of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who viewed life as a journey filled with experiences. Think of each conversation as a step along your path, not a test of your worth. By focusing on being true to yourself, you unlock the door to relationships that are genuine and meaningful. It's about being authentically you and allowing friendships to blossom naturally from that. Each person you meet offers a chance to learn and grow. Through the lens of Stoicism, shyness and introversion aren't something to hide from. They can be profound sources of strength. So you don't need to overcome these traits. Instead, embrace and understand them. Use them as guiding lights in your quest for building connections. As you navigate this journey, remember that every interaction holds value. Even the smallest exchanges can enrich your life in unexpected ways. Now, let's chat a bit. How do you feel about your own journey with friendships? Are there moments where you felt your introversion has been a strength? Share your thoughts in the comments. Together, we can explore these experiences and support each other in cultivating those meaningful connections. Now let's dive into the topic of trust, a delicate subject that can feel like walking a tightrope, especially when you're trying to make friends. Picture this. You're balancing on a thin line, wanting to hold on to your values while navigating the uncertainty of new connections. Trust isn't something you hand out lightly. It's built gradually, like stacking tiny blocks to create something solid. So, what's the first step? It's all about knowing yourself. What drives you? What makes you feel anxious? Think of self-understanding as a treasure map, guiding you through the often unpredictable wilderness of relationships. When you know what you value and what you need, you can better decide when to let someone into your life and when it might be wise to keep a little distance. Imagine a tree standing tall and firm. Its strength comes from its deep roots. Just like that tree, you need to know your values, those core beliefs that matter most to you. This self-awareness becomes your anchor in the ever-changing world of human connections. Remember, people can change, just like the seasons. Someone who seems trustworthy today might act differently tomorrow. This doesn't mean you should build walls around yourself, but rather recognize that change is simply a part of life. Now let's talk about what happens when trust gets broken. It can feel devastating, but it's not the end of the world. Instead, think of it as an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. Stoicism teaches us that even in disappointment, there's room for personal development. This doesn't mean you need to harden your heart or shut others out. Instead, strive for balance. Learn from past experiences while remaining open to new connections. Instead of seeking perfection in others, remember that nobody is flawless. Be like water, adaptable, flowing, yet always true to yourself. One of your greatest tools in building trust is open and honest communication. If doubts creep in, don't hesitate to voice them. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Everything becomes clearer. These conversations can feel intimidating, but think of them as bridges that lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. A simple dialogue can transform a misunderstanding into a moment of clarity. However, it's crucial to remember that communication is a two-way street. Listening is just as important as speaking. When you find the right balance between the two, it creates a beautiful rhythm, much like a dance, where both people feel seen and understood. This kind of interaction doesn't just strengthen friendships, it builds trust, which should always be the foundation of your relationships, not something that gets added on later when issues arise. So let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever felt that tug of war with trust in your friendships? How do you navigate those tricky waters? I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. Feel free to share in the comments. Remember, we're all on this journey together, and your experiences could help someone else find their footing on that tightrope. Now let's dive into another common struggle many of us face: the challenge of finding social opportunities. You might feel like a ship adrift at sea, not because you don't want friends, but because you're not fully engaging with the world around you. Sure, your phone might be buzzing with notifications and social media updates, but let's be real. Real friendships thrive on real-life connections. Picture this. You decide to volunteer in your community. Maybe you're planting trees in a local park, organizing books in a library, or helping out at a neighborhood event. As you roll up your sleeves and get involved, you're not just making a positive impact. You're opening the door to meet others who share your interests and passions. Each shared task is like a thread weaving you into the social fabric of your community. Think of it this way: volunteering reflects a Stoic virtue, contributing to the greater good. It's not just about helping others. It's about creating bonds with those who walk the same path as you. When you're out there, working side by side, there's a natural camaraderie that forms. You share stories, laughter, and sometimes even challenges. These moments build a foundation for friendships that can grow and flourish. Now let's take a moment to consider: what kind of activities resonate with you? Are there local organizations or causes you feel passionate about? Maybe there's a community garden that needs some extra hands, or a shelter looking for volunteers. Each opportunity is a chance to not only contribute, but to meet people who are also dedicated to making a difference. It's a win-win situation. Not only do you get to help out, but you also put yourself in environments where friendships can blossom. Remember, these connections often start small: a shared smile, a conversation over a project, or even just a mutual appreciation for the work being done. Before you know it, you might find yourself part of a group that feels like family. Now let's dive into the magic of shared knowledge and passions. Imagine stepping into a room filled with people who just get you, who understand that spark in your eyes when you talk about your job, your favorite hobby, or that new project you're excited about. Workshops and seminars aren't just about boosting your resume or learning new skills. They're like playgrounds for finding friends. In these vibrant spaces, conversations flow naturally, like a river finding its way through a landscape, because you're surrounded by folks who share your interests and passions. Think about it. When you're in a workshop focused on something you love, it's like being with your tribe. You're not just absorbing information. You're exchanging ideas, stories, and experiences. Each discussion can spark a connection, creating bonds that go beyond the topics at hand. You might find someone who shares your passion for photography, cooking, or coding, and before you know it, you're not just colleagues or classmates, but potential friends. And let's not overlook the great outdoors. Activities like hiking, biking, or even group yoga sessions aren't just fantastic for your physical health. They're also amazing opportunities for friendship. Picture this: you're out in nature, surrounded by the fresh air and the sounds of birds chirping, and as you walk or stretch, conversations start to blossom just like wildflowers. The usual formalities fade away, allowing real connections to grow. While you're enjoying the beautiful scenery, take a moment to soak it all in. Breathe deeply and appreciate the beauty around you, and recognize the people sharing those experiences with you. Maybe you'll find someone who shares your love for adventure, or simply enjoys a good laugh while tackling a challenging trail. It's not about gathering a huge crowd. It's about cherishing the friends who truly enrich your life. This simple, sincere approach to friendships transforms the whole process into a fun and fulfilling journey. It's not a race to collect as many friends as possible. Instead, it's about deepening connections with those who resonate with you. Now, let's tackle the idea of social skills together. You know, friendships don't just magically happen. They take effort, intention, and the right mindset, which can be easy to overlook when life gets hectic. It's normal to feel that a lack of social skills makes forming real connections tougher. But here's a comforting thought inspired by Marcus Aurelius: love the people fate brings into your life. By embracing this perspective, you open yourself up to the possibility of building meaningful relationships, even if you feel a bit unsure about your social skills right now. Think of it as a gentle nudge to step outside your comfort zone and seize those social opportunities, no matter how small they seem. Start with little steps. Maybe say hi to someone at your favorite coffee shop, join a local club that sparks your interest, or dive into online communities where you can share your passions. Each small interaction is like a building block, gradually adding to your confidence in social settings. Just like a plant needs water and sunlight to grow, Your social skills thrive on practice and patience to truly blossom. Now let's talk about one of the most important aspects of developing those social skills: listening with genuine focus and empathy. In a world buzzing with noise, where everyone wants to be heard, being the one who truly listens can make you stand out. Try asking questions, not just to prepare your next response, but to genuinely understand the other person. Dive deep into their stories with real curiosity. When you shift your focus from worrying about how you come across to truly understanding others, you'll start creating deeper, more authentic connections. It's not about impressing people with your stories or cleverness. It's about fostering a space where others feel seen and valued. Also, remember to embrace the ups and downs of social interactions with a calm, stoic mindset. Not every conversation will blossom into a lifelong friendship, and that's perfectly okay. Each interaction, whether it leads to a new friend or simply fades away, is a valuable step forward in your journey. Rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's just a natural part of how we connect with one another. With every experience, you're not only honing your social skills, but also learning to navigate relationships with grace and resilience. And here's something important to keep in mind. Your worth isn't measured by the number of friends you have, but by the quality of the connections you create. Now let's dive into how changing circumstances can really impact our friendships. Sometimes the feeling of having few friends can remind us of the poignant story of the boy and the apple tree. It's a tale that beautifully illustrates how our priorities shift as we grow older, often causing us to drift away from connections that once meant everything to us. As kids, friendships are often simple and carefree, much like the boy joyfully playing with the apple tree. Those early bonds are filled with laughter, shared secrets, and endless adventures. But as we transition into adulthood, our focus starts to shift. Just like the boy in the story, we begin to chase after things we think are essential: money, status, a home. In this pursuit, we might unintentionally neglect the friendships that once provided us with so much comfort and joy, similar to how the tree offered its shade. This shift in priorities isn't inherently wrong. It's a natural part of growing up and evolving. However, while we're busy striving for what we think we need, we often forget about the important things we already have, like those friendships that have been our safe havens. The boy only returned to the tree when he needed something, not realizing the steady, loyal friendship it had always offered him. In the same way, we can get so caught up in our pursuit of success and stability that we overlook the friends who are silently supporting us. This can lead to an unexpected sense of emptiness, even when we've achieved our goals, because true, meaningful connections are missing. But here's the good news. Rebuilding or maintaining friendships doesn't require grand gestures or elaborate plans. It's more about those small, consistent acts of kindness and support, like nurturing a garden. You can start by simply reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Send a text, share a memory, or spark a conversation. Be there for your friends not just during the good times, but especially when they need you most. Friendships, like trees, grow deep roots with time and effort, not instantly. The story of the boy and the tree serves as a gentle reminder that friendship is a two-way street, requiring attention and care from both sides. Don't be like the boy who only remembered the tree when he needed something. Instead, strive to be the one who cherishes and nurtures relationships regularly. Think about it. When was the last time you reached out just to check in on a friend? Maybe you could invite them for a walk, share a meal, or simply call to say hello. These small gestures can make all the difference in strengthening your connections. All right, let's move on to the next part. But before we do, I noticed you haven't hit that like button yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube show our videos to more people and keeps our content coming your way. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's free and it means a lot. Thanks, and let's keep going. Now, let's talk about how shifting priorities and personal growth affect friendships. As we juggle careers, education, and our own self-development, it's easy to let some friendships fade. As life changes, so do our friendships. Sometimes, without even realizing it, shifting priorities become the silent force that shapes the growth or decline of these connections. Stoicism, a philosophy that's just as useful now as it was in ancient times, teaches us to embrace this constant change. Picture your life like a river, always moving, adjusting its path. As you go through the fast-paced rapids of career growth or the calm waters of family time, your ability to connect with friends will naturally change too. And that's okay. It's not a failure. It's just part of living a full life. Stoicism gives us practical advice for these moments of transition. When your schedule is packed with meetings, deadlines, or family duties, it might feel overwhelming to keep up with a huge circle of friends. But Stoicism reminds us, quality over quantity. It's better to have a few deep, meaningful relationships than a bunch of shallow ones. This doesn't mean cutting people out. It means focusing your time and energy on the people who really matter. When you do this, you're not only respecting your own time but also honoring the time of those around you, creating stronger, more fulfilling connections. Adjusting to these changes with a Stoic mindset doesn't mean giving up on friendships or settling for less. Instead, it's about accepting the natural flow of life. Some friends may drift away, while others stick around or even enter your life because your priorities have shifted. Welcome this journey with courage and wisdom. Every person you meet, whether they stay for a short season or a lifetime, adds something special to your life story. Be fully present in your interactions, and let Stoicism guide you in building friendships that not only hold meaning but also align with the person you're growing into. Our mental well-being, often pushed aside in the busy rush of life, is actually a key foundation for building strong friendships. Stoicism, a philosophy that isn't just about ancient ideas but also about modern strength, helps us understand this. It's not about keeping a stiff upper lip all the time, but learning how to navigate our inner feelings. When we're struggling with anxiety or feeling down, it can be like trying to find our way through a maze with no light. The Stoics remind us that we can light a torch, not to make all the darkness disappear, but to help us see a clear path forward. Think about it like this. George Carlin once said that underneath a cynical outlook is often a disappointed idealist. It's not about pretending everything is perfect, but recognizing that our mental struggles can sometimes create walls that block us from forming new friendships. The key is to become aware of this and take small, practical steps forward. Stoicism isn't just about quoting Marcus Aurelius while sipping coffee. It's about real, everyday actions. First, let's talk about mindfulness. And no, it's not just a fancy word for daydreaming. Mindfulness is about paying attention and being fully present in the moment. In a world where everyone's attention is always being pulled in different directions, being truly present in a conversation is like giving a rare gift. It shows that you care, and that's powerful when it comes to building friendships. Another practical step is meditation. You don't have to be a monk to do it. Even just 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. It helps clear your mind and keep you calm, which doesn't just benefit you. It shows others that you value peace and clarity in your life. And that calmness is a solid foundation for stable, lasting friendships. So while tranquility might seem like a far-off goal in our always busy world, it's actually the bedrock for creating and maintaining meaningful connections with others. Tranquility isn't about escaping to a quiet beach or running away from problems. More often, it's about finding peace right in the middle of life's chaos. Imagine it like being a strong anchor in the middle of a storm. No matter how wild things get, you're not easily shaken. Friends aren't just there for the sunny days. They're the shelters we turn to when life gets tough. By aiming for inner calm, you become someone people naturally want to lean on. Stoicism teaches that this calmness, or inner tranquility, is something anyone can achieve through self-reflection and practice. It's about understanding your emotions, knowing what they are, but not letting them control you. This doesn't mean shutting off your feelings. It means being in charge of how you react to them. When you master that, you become like a lighthouse in a storm, a steady source of peace in a world full of unpredictability. People are naturally drawn to those who stay calm and understanding, no matter what's going on around them. When you work on your mental well-being, you're not just helping yourself, you're also creating an inviting space for deeper, stronger friendships to grow. Remember, the calmer you are on the inside, the more others will feel safe and comfortable around you. Now let's dive into the important topic of lifestyle choices. Life moves at a breakneck speed, doesn't it? We often find ourselves caught up in the whirlwind of deadlines, meetings, and an endless to-do list. But let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves, at the end of the day, who's sitting across from you at the dinner table? That's a powerful question. It's not just about being busy, it's about what we're choosing to fill our time with. Stoicism encourages us to take a hard look at our daily choices and reflect, am I spending my time on what really matters? This gentle reminder helps us realize that while working hard is important, carving out time for the things and people that truly enrich our lives is equally crucial. Reflecting on your choices can really change the game. Think about it. Having the courage to say no to things that steal your time and don't foster connection can be liberating. Imagine shaping your day like a sculptor, creating a beautiful statue. Each decision you make is like a careful chisel stroke, carving out space for both your responsibilities and your relationships. It's not about cramming more into your day, it's about using your time wisely and intentionally. You might have fewer hours to hang out, but if you choose to spend that time with the right people, those who share your values and passions, every moment together can become incredibly meaningful. It's all about quality over quantity. Picture it like this. It's not just about having a lot of friends. It's about nurturing friendships that truly matter, those that uplift and inspire you. Remember the Stoic idea of balance. It's not merely about splitting your time evenly among everything. It's about focusing on what genuinely brings you happiness. Imagine your life as a colorful mosaic, where each piece represents something significant, like work, hobbies, rest, and friendships. Your job is to arrange these pieces so they fit together beautifully. This balancing act requires constant tweaking and adjustment, just like a musician tuning their instrument. Sometimes, you might need to dial back on work to make space for friends, or prioritize self-care over social commitments. When you get it just right, your life transforms into a beautiful tapestry that not only looks good, but feels deeply satisfying. So, let's make this personal. Think back to your last meaningful conversation with a friend or loved one. How did that connection enrich your day? Or consider a time when you felt overwhelmed by obligations. What choices could you have made differently to create more space for joy and connection? Now let's talk about differences in interests. Different hobbies and passions are like musical notes. Each one is special, but together they can create a wonderful song. Sometimes when our interests clash, it might feel like hitting a sour note. But instead of seeing that as a problem, think of it as a chance to create a symphony of connections. For example, if you love rock music and your friend prefers classical, there's a gap, sure, but it's also a bridge you can cross together. Stoicism encourages us to embrace these differences not as obstacles, but as opportunities to explore new perspectives and expand our horizons. Who knows? You might end up discovering a whole new world of interests you never expected to enjoy. It whispers to us, find harmony in the differences. When we only focus on what we like, we risk building a bubble that keeps us from seeing the bigger picture and meeting new friends. But when we open our arms to the variety of interests around us, we're not just discovering new hobbies, we're also unlocking doors to fresh relationships and new ways of thinking. There's a saying, variety is the spice of life. Stoicism encourages us to be curious, reminding us that everyone we meet has a treasure chest of experiences, ideas, and passions. Let's say you're a big gamer and your neighbor loves gardening. Instead of just nodding and moving on, why not ask them about their favorite plant? Show some interest in their world. It's not about pretending to love gardening. It's about appreciating what they're passionate about. And who knows? They might be curious about your gaming world too. This mutual curiosity can be a strong glue that bonds people with different interests. Remember, underneath all these hobbies, we often share excitement, dedication, and joy. Stoicism can be like a compass, guiding us to find common ground in shared values and feelings instead of just common interests. Imagine a world where friendships aren't just about liking the same things, but about understanding and appreciating each other's differences. Picture a sports fan becoming friends with a book lover. They can connect over their love for perseverance and learning. In this dance of friendship, Stoicism teaches us to keep our hearts and minds open, creating bonds that are about who we are and who we can become together. It's all about building a colorful friendship that celebrates our unique selves. Remember, the value of our friendships isn't about how much we're alike, but how we embrace and learn from our differences. Stoicism isn't about pushing your feelings away. It's about understanding them and using them wisely. So, be open to finding friendships that really resonate with your heart. If you enjoyed our chat, give us a thumbs up. It helps us reach more people looking for this kind of ancient wisdom. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any more lessons. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. How do you navigate the waters of friendship? Whether you're an introvert who enjoys quiet connections or an extrovert who loves the buzz of diverse groups, your stories are important to us. Not sure what to say? Just tell us if you're an extrovert, introvert, or ambivert. Thank you for watching. Feel free to pick a video on the screen to keep diving into Stoic wisdom. Stay stoic and keep building those meaningful connections.